Ladies and gentlemen, Wybot here with Domination on Ramazar, Modern Warfare gameplay. Now, this was a good game. I got this from about a week or so ago. It was during the day. I came back from the gym and I thought I might see if we can get some video clips of Modern Warfare. And you know what? This game was pretty good. It started a bit slow, but there was always that one player that's just owning you. You got to see him in this game. I forget his GT, but he's bloody good with the car. Really good player. And I thought it fit in well with this subject we're about to discuss, because this is it got quite sweaty towards the end. A couple of his players to the left, I think, enjoyed, but it turned out to be quite a long game. But it's a damn good game. It's a damn good map, and I enjoyed it. So I thought I'd run into the battle with a meat cleaver, and I didn't know what I was going to do the subject on. But then Julius Malco sent me a link, and he's from RGM Media. Now, I've done a video on this subject before, but this was the history of teabagging. But this goes on, and this is the title of the video: Internet Debates, Online Teabagging is Sexual Assault. Now, I don't know if I'll put that in the title or not, because I don't want YouTube to do that, but we'll see what the title is when I decide when it comes up on the screen, if I shoot that guy. But, teabagging on video games. So, it's with no question in real world, walking, when you leave your bedroom and your dungeon and whatever you're playing game in, that if you go out and you teabag some random person out in the street, that's sexual assault, that's assault. You should be locked up and thrown away, and somebody needs to pry into your brain and say, what possessed you to do that? Unless it's consensual and it's something that you and your partner or partners or whatever you're into these day and age are into, then go for it. But that's in real life. I mean, if you go out to the streets or anywhere and just approach anybody randomly and touch them without their consent, male, female, boy, girl, whatever, you got to cop a bit of grief. You got to cop a real bit of grief on that, and I think rightfully so. That's assault. Male or female, doesn't matter. If you touch somebody randomly without their consent, they can put a complaint and say that's harassment. And then it can go into all sorts of harassment, like assault or sexual harassment, whatever. You know that. And look, it's pretty straightforward from most countries, I believe. Down here in Australia, I know for a fact, if you went up and just grabbed somebody in the arm and they weren't happy about it, they could put you in for assault. Teabag them in the street, you probably get beaten up, and then they get you for sexual assault, and so on. And our police will arrest you and deal with you appropriately. But they were debating, and Jake Lucky copied this, and a few other people copied this, and they said, I think teabagging should be considered assault, because I want to make, and it started out on Twitter and these people's names, and Jay Lucky just covered it basically, and they basically said, I just want to make the world a beautiful place, but then we go in there teabag everybody in a video game, we think it's funny. And I think we should make it a sexual assault. Now, they debated it, but there's a couple of things I see very wrong with this at the moment. One, this is what people are talking about on the internet, and they're taking quite seriously, and it's a debate that took off and got noted here and there, and I'm talking about it now because it's gaming. It's gaming related. Because teabagging's been in gaming for a long time. My video explains about the history of teabagging, and Halo is where it really took off. It was used as a tactic, used as disrespect, it was used for all sorts of things. But to make it as a full-on sexual assault when you haven't really insulted anybody, I think their ego on a video game, that's it. That's all you've done is their ego. It sets a precedence for things going very, very wrong. Now, let's change the subject a bit here. This is what happens when people and those weird, crazy opinions get out there, because I'm just going to come out of it now. People are identifying as all sorts of things, and we're expected to go with that. That's fine. But then also, when you start going that path, it takes away people's freedom and release. Now, for instance, a lot of these people talking about stuff I don't think are really in touch with what's going on with the world. I think there's more important things to talk about where teabagging the video game is sexual assault or not. I really am a bit stunned that we're talking about this, and it made a debate, because I think there's far more important things and scary things to be worried about. We just survived 2 years of a pandemic, and I don't know if we really survived it. We've had, in my country, floods, bushfires, through the wazoo, and domestic violence way through the roof in my own country. I can say that in my own country, right? They are serious issues. They are the first things we should be talking about in my country, right? And this wasn't in my country, it's mainly America, which baffles me even more, but doesn't surprise me, because your High Court just made a very, very backwards right-wing decision, right? And then you people are people online, I shouldn't say you people, but people online talking about where teabagging should be made as a sexual assault online, and you just had your High Court basically saying women don't have a choice to do with their bodies with what they want. Do you see where I'm getting at here, people? Oh, that's more control for us. he teabagged in a video game, you're slapped with sexual assault, even though you're a virgin, you have no intent of hurting women or anybody at all. You've never done any crime. You've been a good citizen. You pay tax. You work. You keep out of trouble. You don't take drugs, alcohol, or anything. But you just did a funny little thing teabagging. They found out who you were, and you got sexual assault. To me, it's not even a debate. It comes down to ethics, who you play with, try and be better, try and improve things, learn from other people in other areas. But don't get on a debate and start talking about, you should be charged with sexual assault. I want to make the world a better place. If you want to make the world a better place, I would suggest not doing it for video games. Yeah, 100%. I suggest start doing it for YouTube, trying to teach people here and there. Here's a classic example, Joey Swole. Joey Swole, perfect guy for the gym culture here and there. Look him up on Instagram, TikTok, whatever, and you'll see how he's changing people's mentality and cultures, and he's having a positive impact. There you go. And he's actually on really good subjects, talking about people being videotaped in gyms and being mocked on and how to improve your culture and stop being toxic. He's doing it from the front, and he admits he's a recovering drug addict. He's making a positive change. He's saying, mind your own business, be better than that, do better than that. Joey Swole, look him up, you'll not be disappointed. Keeps great videos, very positive fellow. Love what he has to say. Now, in saying that, if you have got time to debate whether this is sexual assault or not, how about you start talking about people's rights, freedoms, and what is it really costing us that problem in, the Ukraine, being invaded by good old Russia? Because petrol and food is going up all across the globe. But no, we want to sit here and talk about whether you should be charged for sexual assault for teabagging me in a video game. I understand where you're coming from, but that's virtual, whatever. 99.9% of people that teabag in video games would never do that in real world. Let's be realistic about that. I know that for a fact. I know. I've had people threaten me on video games for the Gears of War 3 community, find out who I am personally, and shut the F up because of my size and the way I am. Now, that's me. Some people might do it. Some people are into teabagging. Some people aren't. But I understand. If you want to change the culture, educate people. Don't just come out here and say you can get a fine, because I can tell you now, getting fines and going to jail or getting a charge against you is not great. And it's not going to change people's personalities. It's going to make people even worse. If you want to talk about doxing and swatting, which is big in America, that didn't change anybody's minds until somebody died. And that was somebody else, had nothing to do with it, So how do you think they're going to do? Trolls are going to love it. They're going to steal your account, have your account, teabag as many people as possible, and you're going to get several sexual assaults when you wake up to go to work in the morning. You're going to be arrested for somebody who hacked your account and teabagged on your behalf. And you've got no choice. You're going to make an example out of you because you teabagged in a video game. That's evil. You'll do it in the real world. Man, 90% of people play video games, they go out and kill anybody. That's the same debate as well. So why put more heat onto the gaming community or make such a stupid thing? Why don't you just focus on what is really important in life, like education, health? Health is the biggest thing, in my view. Environment, yeah, we can always argue about that, but there's better things to do in environmental and new fossil fuels. But talking about and debating about if teabagging video games is actually sexual assault, it's a waste of breath for me. It really is. Ethics, respect. Treat others how you will want to be treated, and you'll always get that one dickhead that is going to teabag no matter what. And some people deserve to be teabagged. The history of teabagging, the video I've done, you'll see the whole history of it and why it's funny. I mean, the Halo community is already going for a rough patch as it is. You get rid of teabagging, it's dead. Goodbye. I mean, in pro levels, I totally get it. In pro games, at pro sports, 100%. 100%. Definitely. We've had problems here in rugby league. We had the guy called the Hopawada. He used to stick two fingers up people's butts so they get off him quick enough when he was being scrummed at. They almost go sexual assault on that. But that's a game where it's physical contact. But that's when you have those kind of debates. That's where it is, because it's physical contact. He actually put his fingers up another man's crotch so they get off him on a video on a sports field. Yes, it's true. Look up Hopawada, NRL. You'll see it. Now, I will link my original video to about the history of teabagging and why it can be used as a tactic, why it can be funny, why it can't. In Gears of War 3 as a spin around. The biggest disrespectful thing in Call of Duty at the moment is shooting people's bodies in ranks. That's always has been more than the teabag. But it can be seen as a sign of positivity. There was one guy I was playing against with dual SLK pistols with 80 drums, and he could never kill me. Seriously, I got him 5 times in a row. When he finally killed me, he shot my body out of frustration. The reason he did that was not because I didn't take a pose. It's like, I finally got you, you bastard. And that's it. So it's how you take it. But really, at the end of the day, it comes down to how you interpreted a teabagging. Was it funny? Was it a joke? Was it not? Or is it a bruise on your ego? And nobody should get a permanent fine against because of your ego or they bested you in a video game. Pure and simple. You know? I've seen it all, man. I see Z-Lander teabagging guy the other day and he got taken out and he laughs. I would think there's more of the subject talking about is Z-Lander cheating or not? That's an even more serious debate than being offended by somebody teabagging because he's won thousands of dollars and he's sponsored. His life has been off streaming. Is he a cheater? If he's cheating, fuck him off. But he's not. But no, instead, people want to get on there and say teabagging is offensive. I was offended by it. And look, by the way, we're not sexist when it comes to teabagging. Women can do it as well. It's called a clam slam. Just thought I'd add that in there. So, as it comes to the end of this video, I think people should stop having these kind of debates because when you've got people in right-wing politics or extreme left wings, I don't care, right or left, they're extreme, they're not far from each other. Trust me on that one. It's not good because they'll jump on this bandwagon and before you know it, you get to cop all sorts of fines, and I think the one thing you enjoy is going back and you do one act of teabagging in a video game, and that could be the rest of your life ruined. Think about it. It should not even be a debate. Try and teach people not to teabag, make videos on how to deal with people that teabag, and then do what Joey Swole does in their own version of video gaming. And trust me, you'll get somewhere. You'll get the message across. It's a hard battle, but you will. So frag a tab. Be good days knowing you. Tell me what you think in the subject, the comment section down below. Like, comment, and subscribe. And please follow me on Facebook where I stream 2 to 3 nights a week. And follow me on Instagram. All my socials, everything involved. Link in the description down below. Tell me what you think of the gameplay. Tell me you're still stoked for Modern Warfare 2. And what are your thoughts on being charged with sexual assault if you teabag somebody in a video game? I think you know what my thoughts are. Tell me what yours are. Take care. Be good to those that love you. Say hi to your mum. And I'll catch you mofos on the battlefield. That wasn't a bad game. I really enjoyed that game. For a midday game, that was effing fun.